Hey, it's Storyworthy. Today on the show, comedian Roz Browne talks about how her dog Tip busted her husband.
And when I got back home, Tippy was running around the house doing his Tippy dance, but this time he had a DVD in his mouth. I said, Tippy, what you got there? And when I got the DVD out, it said, My Special Pics, in my husband's writing. I'm thinking, what is this? It's maybe some photos of me, us on vacation or whatever. Then I thought, well, no, I bet you some porn. Right? I'm like, okay, let me see what kind of porn he likes. So I put the DVD in the computer, and it was photos of him with another woman.
Today on the show, comedian Roz Browne talks about how her dog busted her husband. Stay close.
Hey, it's Roz Browne, and you're listening to Storyworthy.
Welcome to Storyworthy. My name is Christine Blackburn, and I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Whether you're a longtime fan of the show of 12 years or you're a new listener, welcome to Storyworthy. If you are a new listener, you have some catching up to do. But listen, you go back in the catalog, you can choose any of 745 shows. You can pick the topic you like or the talent you like and listen to any of those Storyworthies. I am starting my 12th year, like I said, in July, and the show is going better and better every year. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the show last week with comedian Blanca Patch. Blanca Patch, let's just face it, could be the funniest man alive. Roz Browne, any thoughts?
Yes, very funny.
He is especially so good on Twitter, isn't he? Oh, my gosh. Such a smart comedian. And last week, Blaine talked about being California sober. And I think a lot of people are now California sober. And you know what I mean?
What is that? No.
Well, it's just a term going around. It's basically you don't drink alcohol, but you smoke every day.
Oh, okay.
You smoke weed, you use marijuana, but not alcohol. And I don't know, I have never been in any kind of a AA program, but I have heard a lot of stories, and I would hate to get judged by I still smoke weed. Like some people don't consider that sober enough.
Yeah. It's like all drugs and alcohol and cigarettes, weed, all of that. To be
so
clean.
What if can they take an Ambien or can they take an aspirin?
No.
So those are drugs too.
Yes, all of that is drugs.
Wow. I will never be sober. I may be California sober, but that's about it. Anyway, you guys, Blaine is the best, so go back, check out that show. But not today, because today I'm here with another fabulous talent. Roz Browne is here, and she brings forth the topic, My Dog Busted My Husband. So this sounds really crazy and funny, and I'm anxious to hear this story. I've been divorced twice.
Really?
Yeah. But see, I was first married. I was only 25. You know what I mean? I was a kid. And that marriage ended because he got another girl pregnant.
Oh, okay.
I'm flexible, Roz, but
yeah.
I'm not that flexible. But I found a card. I found it was a Christmas card that she had sent him. And I found it in his van. I was looking for something, and his van was always trashed with Rolling Stone magazines and newspapers and BMG, record club, whatever. And I was looking for pictures, and I found this card. So that's how that husband got busted. And then my second husband, nobody cheated. The second husband was much better, and which is why we're still friends, because nobody cheated, nobody lied.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out, That's a much more mature breakup,
Right. Yeah.
So you have
adults.
Yeah, exactly. Who knew? Adulting. How about that? You are so busy, Roz. You keep in the game year after year. Your credits never stop. I'm consistently impressed with you. I really am. I think I saw you on a commercial during the Oscars.
Yes. It was a Geico commercial.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, it was fun with Icky Woods, football player.
I don't know that guy. Oh, funny.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
How do you?
It was actually a commercial that came back that ran like years ago, and they brought it back.
Bullshit.
No shit. Yeah.
Wow.
Really good.
So you got the session fee?
I got it all again. Yes.
So how does it go down? You got the...
Yeah, I got everything.
I know, but tell our audience. Our audience doesn't know what that means. So you were in a commercial years ago, then they brought it back. So tell us.
I brought it back. So I got all the residuals. I got session fees. Yeah.
And so it's like as if you did the day again, but you didn't have to do anything.
Exactly.
That does not happen often. Am I right?
No, it does not. I was surprised when it happened. Yeah.
When people think anything about commercial acting is easy, I think you're out of your mind. I mean, the work that goes into the auditioning, right?
It is, and it's so much more difficult now with self-tapes. You know, a lot of it's at home, and they're auditioning you at home. Mm-hmm. A very weird thing that happens.
Well, how do you feel about that? Self-taping and sending in other words, instead of going to a casting director's office, parking your car, going inside, signing in at the sheet, and then waiting for your name to be called, instead, you tape yourself, your audition, they send you the sides, you tape yourself, you send it in. What do you feel about that?
It's good points and bad points. The good points is I don't have to drive. The traffic. Gas is so high, it's like, who wants to be on the freeway for 2 hours to get to our audition session? And I miss seeing the people and the camaraderie and the other actors. And I miss seeing the actual, casting people there because I like to see people. It's a different energy when you see someone in person than on tape. On the other hand, when you tape it, you get a chance to redo it 1,000 times if you want and get it exactly like you want it.
Yeah.
And also it brings your skills up as far as editing and all that and, learn how to use iMovie and how to videotape and what looks good, what doesn't look good, and how to cut and paste. I love all that.
Yeah, that's a whole area, the technology of it. And, knowing that you've got good lighting and the background is clean.
Right.
But here's the problem with the self-tape, Roz, and I'm sure you've thought of this. Do they even watch it?
I hope so. Well, I got booked on self-tapes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
My concern is, here's my concern. My concern is they get 60 or 70 self-tapes of the people they want to see. They find the person on the third one, and they stop looking at all the tapes.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah.
But the same thing, and if you go in for a session, they might find the person the first couple of people that come in, but they still have to see those other people because I already called them in.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I mean. You could change their mind. But if they're not going to watch any more tapes, I guess I'm just saying...
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying.
I guess I'm just saying, I've done over 100 commercials myself. I've done many, many commercials. And
You're the commercial queen.
When I would walk out of the room, I would pretty much know if I had the call back or not, right? And, fair enough. And then I would, a lot of times get the call back because they only send me into the right commercials to begin with, They're already being choosy. And if I go to the callback and everybody there is blonde like me, I feel good about it, like I have a chance. But if people in that room are all different looking, then
they don't know what they want.
They don't know what they want, and there's a good chance I am not getting that job. But my point is that either way, I'm driving home from the audition, and I have a feeling, and I've made a connection, and I've seen another actor that I like, or I've chatted with somebody, and it just made me more feel in the game than the self-taping and just sending stuff out into the ether world, and is anybody looking at it? That's my concern.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any control over that, right?
No, you're absolutely right. And we don't have any control over anything anyway. But I guess the feeling. Well, I'm thrilled to hear that you booked a spot by self-tape.
Yes.
Clearly, you do have a great reputation, and you've been around a while. So it's not like people are saying, "Who's Roz Browne?" They know who you are.
Oh, Oh, I hope so. Thank you.
Hope so. Well, you've done an awful lot. I don't have to tell you. I mean, you've been on Curb Your Enthusiasm and Speechless and Shameless. And,
all the lessons.
You've done so many great things. And what were you doing on The View? What was that?
I was on this episode. It was called Hilarious Housewife segment.
Okay.
And it was a contest, actually. They had like 6 weeks of female comedians come in and do 3-minute sets. And I got to the finals. I went in one time and I came back to New York. It was shot in New York City. And I met Barbara Walters. And back then it was Star Jones. And
sure.
Of course, the other one.
Well, Whoopi Goldberg was still there, wasn't she?
Yes, she was still there.
And also Joy Behar.
Yeah.
I love Joy Behar. I love that woman. I think she's so down to earth.
She's so nice.
She's so like straight to the point. I really like her.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So that was so much fun.
I can imagine. Who ended up winning that?
I think it was Leanne Lord.
I don't know that person.
Out of New York, she had more people there.
Yeah, interesting. Well, isn't that always the truth? Comedy contests are very vague. I mean, it's such a...
I know.
It depends on the night. It depends on when you got up. It depends on how many people are there to see you. It depends on everything.
But it was so much fun. It was
so nuanced. Yeah, I bet. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. All right, well, listen, we're going to get over to your story in just a second. My dog busted my husband. I can't wait to hear this. I had dogs as a child, but I haven't had a dog as an adult. I really want to.
No?
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah. They're nothing like a dog. They're so, like, lovable and non-judgmental, and they just love you no matter what.
Yeah, it's part of your family, right?
Yeah, my dog especially, he's, like, irreplaceable.
Oh,
find out why after this. Yeah, tell my story.
Well, it is, dogs, they give you everything and they fill your heart with love and then they die.
That part, I don't like that.
Very difficult. Yeah, very difficult.
Yeah, I don't like that part.
Well, I have 2 cats, and they also are fun, but I do feel like I'm cleaning the litter box most of my life.
Yeah.
It never ends.
I had a cat before this dog. So I had a cat for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
So I like all animals.
I know. Me too. I know. I figure I really have, I question people who don't. Like, what do you mean you don't like dogs? What is that?
Yeah, they're not all the way there.
They're not all the way there. And one more thing. I want to tell you guys about a podcast I think you'll really enjoy. Are you secretly Googling questions about weed? So, because weed now is so accessible. So a lot of women specifically aren't exactly sure what they're doing, and they don't know me. Because I could teach you quickly. But there is a podcast out there. It's called How to Do the Pot, which I think is very funny right off the bat. How to Do the Pot. It's here to help with short weekly episodes that inspire you to feel confident about cannabis for health, well-being, and fun. It's hosted by Ellen Scanlon, and How to Do the Pot is demystifying cannabis for women through a delightful mix of storytelling, practical tips, and expert advice. And I know story-worthy listeners will like it because it's kind of based on storytelling as well. In fact, I'm going to do a story on the show about the first time I bought legal weed, because for years, we've been buying it in garages and in parks and all over the place. So if you want to hear how women are exploring cannabis and have all your questions answered, listen to How to Do the Pot wherever you get your podcasts. All right, you guys, she's here right now. You've heard her talking. Roz Browne. She's an award-winning headlining comedian, a hilarious host, and a gifted improviser, writer, and an actor. Like I said, you have been, your career has spanned over 20 years, 25 years. You've had 2 one-woman shows, and I know that's a lot of work because I've done them. And you've done a lot of commercials, and you're a regular at the world-famous Comedy Store, which is definitely saying something. You have been on countless shows like we talked about, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Them, Covenant, Speechless, Shameless, Faking It, The View, Comics Unleashed, and And you can find out so much more about Roz Browne over at her website, rozbrowne.com, and also follow Roz on Twitter, where you're very funny, at Roz Browne. All right, you guys, wherever you are, put your hands together for Roz Browne.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Christine. I am so glad to be here. I'm so glad for this opportunity. We've gone back so far, so long. You know, we've known each other forever. Forever. So I was married too, and I was the only girl in my family to get married. Yes. So when I got engaged, my mom couldn't wait to give me advice. She had 5 pieces of advice. First, she said, Rosie, after you get married, get you a good TV because things are going to get boring. Yeah, she said that. My mom, you have to know my mom. She doesn't hold back. Then she said, if you get mad at him, go to bed mad. That way you remember what you was mad about the next day. This is her advice. Her third piece of advice was, after 10 years in, he's going to start saying stupid things. Just listen and agree. Did you get that, Christine? Too?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years in. Yeah, that's why when it happens, like, Fourth, she said, get a puppy. She said, yeah, because a puppy's going to get you used to someone following you all around the house and getting on your last damn nerve. And lastly, she said, go to bed with no underwear on. That's how you have kids. Oh. Now, that one I really didn't need to know about because I didn't want to imagine my mom walking around the house with no underwear on. Oh. But I never did have kids. But I did get a puppy. His name is Tip. Tipp. If I have a picture, I can show you a picture of Tip. He's a Bichon Frise. Yeah, he's one of those little cute little poodle-looking puppies with all white and frizzy hair. People see him when I'm out walking him, and they say, "Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Is he a rescue dog?" And then when I say he's not a rescue dog, then they look at him like he ain't shit.
You can't say that. You always have to say it's a rescue dog, no matter.
I know, but someone got to get the other dogs, Christine. What happens to those dogs? The ones that have mothers and fathers.
Did you say, yeah, right? Did you say, like, no, I spent $1,500 on it. What about it?
I said, no, I got them in Venice Beach. A man was selling them out of a box, puppies out of a box.
Wow.
Yes, and I had to have one because it was that time and I had a house and it was lonely, just me and the husband there. I'm like,
how much did you pay for that puppy? I'm curious.
I think it was like $250.
Wow.
Like $200. Yeah. And it's so strange because I did not have the cash at the time. So the guy let me take the puppy without paying him and came to my house later to get the money.
Wow. That's nice.
Yeah.
Adulting.
I know. Adulting. I know. Who does that? No one does that. Just take the puppy and I'll come get the money later. Okay, whatever. So I got the puppy. I got Tip. Brought Tip home, and the soon puppies, they like to hump. Even adult dogs, they like to hump things. They're humping all the time. Ugh. Yeah, they like just humping. I got him a little stuffed toy shaped like a hot dog. He humped it so much I had to take it away. I used to call it his girlfriend. I said, "You're humping your girlfriend. Leave your girlfriend alone." Then he started humping the towels. I'm like, now you're cheating on your girlfriend with the towels. It was so bad. For a while, I went to the vet and I asked the vet if he could get it, I could get him fixed. And the vet told me I had to wait till his balls dropped. Did you know dogs' balls had to drop? I did not know that.
No,
me neither.
How long does that take?
I guess 6 months or so. So yeah, but I love my dog Tip. He is special. He gets so excited when I come home from any place. And if I come home from a trip, he gets so excited. He runs around in a circle. And I starts dancing. I call it his tippy dance. He does his tippy dance. So when I got back from a trip a couple of years ago, I went to Europe. And when I got back home, Tippy was running around the house doing this tippy dance. But this time he had a DVD in his mouth. And I said, yeah, back when they had DVDs.
Yeah.
I said, Tippy, what you got there? So I had to get the DVD out of his mouth because I didn't want him to ruin it. And when I got the DVD out, it said, My Special Pics. And my husband's writing. I'm thinking, what is this? It's maybe some photos of me, us on vacation or whatever. Then I thought, well, no, I bet you some porn. Right? I'm like, okay, let me see what kind of porn he likes. So I put the DVD in the computer, and it was photos of him with another woman. I know, I couldn't believe it. I'm swiping through the photos. There was one of him, and I looked at her skin, and her skin was bad. I'm like, oh, she could have got that fixed. That was her bad skin. Then another photo of them, he had on a shirt that I hadn't seen in like 2 years. I didn't even know he still had that shirt. And I'm going through, swiping through the photos, and I see one of them in Vegas. And he told me he was going to Vegas, too. He said he had a DJ gig. And I'm like, looking at the photos, I'm like, it doesn't look like he's DJing there. I couldn't believe it. I looked down at my dog, Tip, and he said, woo, woo, woof, I got some more.
Oh.
Tip went and got 3 more DVDs.
Oh, my God.
I know. I'm going through all their DVDs. I'm just in disbelief. I'm like, how could he do this? He had like a whole DVD full of photos of them two together. And then it dawned on me, she was ugly. Mm. I'm like, at least if you're going to cheat up. It made me feel so bad that he would cheat with someone ugly. At least cheat with someone who looked better than me, not worse than me. That didn't make any sense. So, of course, I confronted him, and he tried to deny it. Yeah, of course. He said, who are you going to believe, me or the dog? I said, I'm going to believe the dog because he has the evidence. Oh, and there was one photo of him and her skating on roller skates. I should have known because that's how I met him, on roller skates. Yeah. My friend taught me to go on roller skating one time, and I saw him doing the crazy eights and the backward skating, and I was impressed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's why I married him, because he could skate good. Mm. And I'm sure that's why this other woman was attracted to him, because he was skating, doing the crazy eights on the skate. So my dog Tip said, Roz, what you got to do is go see a lawyer, because you make more money than him. And the first one who files for divorce gets the better deal. So Tip and I fled to the lawyer's office. The lawyer looked at my marriage certificate and said, this looks like an original document. Did you ever file this with the county? And I thought about it. I'm like, no, the pastor told me I should file the certificate with the county, but I don't think I did. She said, well, if you didn't file this with the county, that means you were never married. And that means you don't have to get a divorce. She says, you got to go to the county registrar's office and see if they have a copy. If they don't have a copy of this, that means you were never married.
Oh, my God.
We went to the county office, Tip and me, and we just put in our application. And we just sat there and waited, hoping they had no record. The lady called me up to the front desk, and she said, Roz, we can't find anything for this. I hollered. I danced. Tippy was doing his tippy dance. I was doing his tippy dance. I was so elated. I called my friend Dee, and then my Sugar Avery voice from The Color Purple. I said, guess what, Dee? I's not married. I's not married. Yeah, so I tell people that story. They say, really? Did the dog really do that? Did the dog really find the DVD? I say, yes. Then they say, can I borrow the dog? Because a lot of people have suspicions now.
Yeah, so wait a second. How long had you been married, or you thought you were married?
12 years.
Oh, my God.
12 years. I know. Oh, well, actually, no, I'll take that back. It was 17 years. And actually, I thought I was going to get remarried, because I kind of had an inkling I didn't file a certificate. But I said, well, it's getting close to the 20-year mark. Let's get remarried, and I'll make sure I file it this time. And that's when Tip found this DVD.
Wow. Okay, so we have to hear about the confrontation when you went back and said and told him, guess what?
Guess what? Yeah.
I'm dying to hear this. Go ahead.
So he says, well, I see we were never married in the first place. So I wasn't really cheating on you. I say, yes, you was cheating on me because you thought we was married too. But I think he kind of knew I didn't file the certificate. That's why he cheated. He said, "Oh, that was not real."
I don't think that's true. There's no way. He would not have kept track of whether you mailed something in or not. He wouldn't have kept track of that. What I think is that he just cheated because he's just a dirty dog like so many men. But what I'm so happy for you is that, the state of California, it's 50-50 down the, straight down the middle when you divorce. And if you were married over 10 years, then he would get your pension, part of your pension later on down the line.
Yeah, see, none of that came into play.
Oh my God. So you were able to basically, what happened?
Walk away.
Who moved or what happened?
He moved. We bought the house together. I put in most of the money, equity for the house.
Yeah.
Down payment for the house. So I paid him a settlement to move, to get out the house and move and sign over the title, change the title into my name. And that was it. No lawyers involved. I went to the real estate lawyer.
He was pretty amiable about it, or amicable about it.
I got to him real quick because I don't mess around.
Yeah,
good
on you.
When I make up my mind, I don't want them to have time to simmer in the thoughts of what they could get. So I made sure I just jumped on each thing fast. And so I presented him with these options fast, so he couldn't because he had a friend that was in his ear, you got that house there. Ooh.
Yeah, there's always a friend who's telling him something.
Yeah, but there was no marriage, no legal marriage involved, so he couldn't stand on that.
When you got married, was it with the bride and the groom and the guests and the cake?
Yeah, it was a church and all that. We had the pastor was there, and the pastor, after that happened, the pastor, I don't know, it was just this church, but from then on, the church would file the certificate directly to the county. But for some reason, he gave it to me to file the certificate. He must have known. He must have looked at him and said, here, you take this.
Now, have you ever had contact with some of those wedding guests, and do they think oh my God, I bought you that mixer, you didn't even get married? I mean,
no. You know what they like most about this? Okay, it's the story about Tip finding the DVD is so funny, but it's I did have a marriage. I was in love with him, and he was in love with me. I thought so. It was very heartbreaking for me, hurtful for me to go through this process.
Of
but
course,
everybody wanted to know. Oh, she's not married anymore. But tell them the Tip story.
Yeah.
The Tip story trumps my hurt.
What? Aw. No, I hear what you're saying. Well, it was such a shock. But, when I found out when I was only 26 years old and I found out my ex-husband had been sleeping with this other girl, when I found that card, the only thing it was bad. It was really bad. I was on the ground at night. I was crying. I couldn't even work. I couldn't, I was paralyzed because it was the big first shock of my life, really. And the only good thing about it was that it was so obvious. You cannot sleep with somebody else, then get her pregnant. There's no way forward. You know what I mean? It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. So at least that part was clean.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away the heartbreak.
Yeah. And at first I said, well, maybe we could go to counseling. You're okay, well, maybe we could go to counseling. But then when I brought that up, and he was like, whatever, I'm okay, that's not going to work.
Why would he label it my special picks?
Because he was stupid.
He's such an idiot. Why did he say Taxes 2007 or something?
Right.
What an idiot.
Or maybe he just wanted to get caught,
Oh, my gosh. When my ex-husband and I talk about my daughter via emails, we always put in the subject line taxes, because we think if she ever sees these emails, she's not going to look at taxes.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's just a little parenting, 101 tip.
Yeah, you should have told that to my ex. I don't even call him the X, I call him the Y.
What? I just can't even believe it. And by the way, was Tip bringing out the actual silver round DVD, or was he bringing out like the case?
The case.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
The case, yeah. It was on paper, the little paper sleeves.
Sure. Oh, the little paper sleeve.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. And so was he actually having a relationship with that person?
And she was a hairdresser because, I did my PI work. I did my own investigating work.
Sure.
And found out she was a PI work, and I found out he keep documents of everything.
And she knew he was married, right?
I'm sure she did. Yeah, she did.
It sucks, man. It just sucks.
Yeah, I know.
What a twist of fate,
Exactly.
That story takes a lot of turns very quickly.
Yeah. And I went to the roller skating rink because I wanted to see if I could catch him, and I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah,
the next day.
Well, you do crazy things,
you do,
everybody.
right?
Because you're upside down. I mean, breakups like that, once you've invested in somebody for so long and you live day in and day out with them, and then all of a sudden that just abruptly changes, and there was something going on for so long and you didn't know about it. Like, it's such a lie of omission,
Right.
It's humiliating.
Right. You got me.
Yeah.
Like
exactly. You got tricked. It's like, oh my God, you don't respect me at all?
Yeah.
Terrible feeling. Terrible.
Yeah. So I think in a way he wanted to get caught.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And even my first ex-husband might have been the same. He left that card out, right there in his van.
Yeah.
So, it could be.
But who would have think the dog? I mean, there's like the dog had to tell me.
So Tip is still around, right?
Tip is still around. He's here, actually. Yeah.
Why did you name him Tip? Is it the tip of the tail or the tip of the nose?
Well, my girlfriend named him. She was walking with me at the beach, and she actually came up with the name Tip, not me.
Oh, before you got the puppy or right after?
When I got the puppy.
Did you take the puppy straight to the beach?
Well, I got the puppy at the beach.
That's what you said, in Venice. Yeah. But then you didn't take the puppy then into the ocean or near the beach, did you?
Oh, no.
I was going to say, I've never seen a puppy at a beach.
No. We walked the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's also beautiful. I love living here, don't you?
I do. It's so nice. I love going to the beach.
Me too.
So nice.
Where are you from again, Roz?
Boston.
I knew it. Yeah.
Boston.
So many Boston people out here, right?
There's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah. There's also a big contingency of New York, of course. Philadelphia.
Where are you from, Christine?
Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah. But in August, I'll have been in LA 25 years.
Nice.
And it's funny because I still go to open mics. I go to open mic comedies twice a day. I'm going today. I do the noon and the 1 o'clock mics.
Really?
Slotted mics. You pay 5 minutes to get you pay $5 for 5 minutes of time. And I do 2 a day. And I've been doing that for 3.5 years. And it's when I got to LA, I was doing open mics. 25 years later, there's Tip. 25 years later, I'm doing open mics.
Which ones do you go to?
I go to Fourth Wall Comedy Cafe, Flappers, Improv. But I'm not complaining. I love comedy. I love going to stand up, and I like the people. Yeah. So what am I going to do? Get married and move out and have a big house somewhere, and then what? I'm in a big house by myself. That's all right.
The postman is here.
Oh, well, that's exciting.
Yeah, he's not going to stop.
It's part of the day. It's part of the routine.
Yeah.
Do you take the dog everywhere you go?
I used to when he was younger. Not anymore as much because it's just too much to take care of.
No, I know.
And he doesn't get along with a lot of people. I mean, he's nice and people want to pet him, but then he'll turn on you and bite and snip at you.
Did your ex-husband, by the way, did he ever want the dog? Did he ever say, I get Tim?
He did. He actually had the nerve to say, like, well, when can I see? I'm like, no, I don't think so. I thought about it, like, no, this might be a setup. He might be trying to get Tim to take his revenge on Tip.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, it's always so fun to catch up with you, Roz, because you're such a hard worker. You're always out there. You're in the mix. And you stay in it, you know? Like, people have told me, and I do believe this, it's not why you come to Los Angeles. It's about why you stay in Los Angeles. Like, what makes you stay? It's the community. It's the kinship. It's like being in my tribe. It's like,
I like that.
Understand that you don't have a real job, that you get, different jobs.
Yeah.
And that people understand that you don't have a driveway and a garage, and it's okay, you know?
And that you do this show, you do that show, you do storytelling. Yeah, a lot of people still don't even know what storytelling is. It's like, you got to explain to people sometimes.
People don't even know what podcasts are, Roz.
Yeah.
Well, I like being on, the cutting edge, as it were, and I love being in Los Angeles with creative people that are smart and funny.
Same here.
Like you, man. You are so smart and so funny.
Thank you. Same to you.
You guys
Thanks, Christine.
Thanks, Roz. You guys can find a lot more out about Roz over at her website, rozbrowne.com, and also follow Roz on Twitter at Roz Browne. All right, you guys, one more time on behalf of the very talented Roz Browne, thank you so much, Roz. I appreciate it.
Tink you.
All right, you guys. Fun. My name is Christine Blackburn saying, make it the story worth the week.
Thanks for joining us on the Storyworthy Podcast. We'll be back next week with all new stories. Subscribe to Storyworthy on iTunes and visit the Storyworthy website at storyworthypodcast.com.
Wells Fargo presents one of the surest ways to grow your money. A Wells Fargo CD account, where you can earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield on an 11-month term with a minimum opening deposit of $5,000. Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/CD rates to open a CD account and start growing your savings with us.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.